Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do part 9 of Canada's volcanoes, and we're going to start with the Yukon Territory. And our first volcano area is going to be Alligator Lake Volcanic Complex. Alligator Lake Volcanic Complex is a group of basaltic cinder cones and lava flows in the south central Yukon. The upper part of the Alligator Lake Volcanic Complex consists of two well-preserved cinder cones capping a small shield volcano. Their compositions range from alkali olivine basalt to basaltonic. Lava flows from the northwest cone are the largest, extending 4 miles from the cone and expanding to a width of 6 miles at the terminus. Our next one is Bennett Lake Volcanic Complex. Bennett Lake Volcanic Complex is a huge 50-million-year-old extinct caldera complex that spans across the British Columbia-Yukon border in Canada, formed when the ancient Kula Plate was subducting under North America during the early Eocene period. Remnants of this huge caldera complex are preserved near Bennett Lake in the Coast Mountains. The complex composes the Skookum group. I don't think there's any views in this area, but we can look. And no, we don't have any, so we're moving on to our next one, which is Fellsite Peak. And this is Fellsite Peak here. Fellsite Peak is an eroded volcanic outcrop in the Wrangell Volcanic Field, Yukon Territory of Canada, located 54 kilometers south of Silver City, 8 kilometers southwest of Snowshoe Peak, and 30 kilometers east of Pinnacle Peak. Fellsite Peak was named after Fellsite Creek and has a triple summit on the east side of the Disappointment Glacier and at the head of the Fellsite Creek. It formed as a result of melting of the crust due to subduction of the Pacific Plate beneath the North American Plate and last erupted during the Pleistocene. Our next one is Mount Harper. Mount Harper is a deeply eroded late Proterozoic volcanic complex located 44 miles north of Dawson City and 21 miles west of Mount Gibbon. Mount Harper is in the Ogilvy Mountains and is 3,900 feet tall, with thick remnants of subaqueous to emergent basaltic shield. Volcano capped by small rhyodacite and andesitic lava flows, it oversteps the Harper Fault. And our next one is Ibex Mountain. Ibex Mountain is a young cinder cone. It is in a group of basaltic cones and lava flows called Alligator Lake and is in the northern Cordilleran Volcanic Province. It is believed that Ibex Mountain last erupted during the Pleistocene. The Ibex Valley is named after the cone. I don't know if we have any views here, but it's worth checking. We do not. So we're moving on to the next one, which is Mount McNeil. Mount McNeil is a rhyolite lava dome and formed during the Cenozoic eruptions of the Skookum group. Our next one is Montana Mountain. Montana Mountain is a deeply eroded late Cretaceous stratovolcano. Montana Mountain was formed when the ancient Kulu Plate was subducting under southwestern Yukon during the late Cretaceous period. Mount Skookum Volcanic Complex. Mount Skookum Volcanic Complex is an early Eocene caldera complex located 43 kilometers west of Carcross and 32 kilometers northeast of Mount Porcelid in the Yukon Territory of Canada. The complex composes the Skookum group. It is a northeast trending complex of subaerial volcanic and volcanic clastic rocks covering 140 kilometers. It was formed when the ancient Kulu Plate was subducting under North America during the early Eocene period. And I'm not sure if we have a view here, so we're going to back out and look. We don't appear to have one in the area. We're moving on to Mount Nansen. And this is Mount Nansen here. Mount Nansen is a deeply eroded mid-Cretaceous stratovolcano. Mount Nansen was formed during subducting under North America during mid-Cretaceous period. I'm backing out to look and see if we have any views here, and we do not. And we're moving on to the next one, which is Nishidawa. Nishidawa, also known as Wooten's Cone, is a volcano located 4.3 miles upstream of Fort Selkirk in the Fort Selkirk volcanic field of central Yukon, Canada. The volcano erupted subglacially during the last Pleistocene, erupting pyroclastic cones, breccias, and pilobreccias. It has been described as a cinder cone or subglacial mound. So we're going to go look a little bit closer. We can see it here. And we'll check and see if we have a view in this area at all. And we do not. And we're moving on to the next one, which is Rabbit Mountain. Rabbit Mountain is an eroded volcanic outcrop in the Wrangell volcanic field, Yukon Territory. Rabbit Mountain formed as a result of melting of the crust due to subduction of the Pacific Plate beneath the North American Plate and last erupted during the Pleistocene. Like most volcanoes in Yukon, Rabbit Mountain is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire that includes over 160 volcanoes. Now check this one. We don't have a view in this area here. And we're moving on to the last one for Yukon, which is Volcano Mountain, Fort Selkirk. Which is this one down here. Volcano Mountain, Fort Selkirk, is a cinder cone in central Yukon Territory of Canada, located a short distance north of Fort Selkirk, near the confluence of the Pelly and Yukon rivers. Volcano Mountain is also called Nelruna in the Northern Tachoni language. Volcano Mountain is the youngest volcano in Fort Selkirk volcanic field and one of the youngest in the northern section of the Northern Cordilleran Volcanic Province. The lava at Volcano Mountain is olivine nephelinite, which is an uncommon type of lava. This type of lava is believed to have come from much deeper inside the earth than the basaltic lava. The last eruption from Volcano Mountain produced young nephilinitic lava flows that remain unvegetated and appear to be only a few hundred years old. However, dating of sediments in the lake impounded by the lava flows indicate that the youngest flows could not have been younger than the mid-Holocene and could be early Holocene or older. And we're moving on to Saskatchewan. We're going to Fort Alacorn Kimberlite Field. Fort Alacorn Kimberlite Field is a 104 to 95 million year old diamond bearing kimberlite field in east central Saskatchewan, Canada. Its kimberlite pipes are among the most complete examples in the world, preserving marsh shaped craters. And if you look, you can see these are the marsh shaped craters here. And moving on to Quebec. And our first one is going to be Lac des Vents Volcanic Complex. Lac des Vents Volcanic Complex is a 1.4 mile thick Archean volcanic complex in the Abitibi Greenstone Belt of Quebec, Canada. It is an important part of the major submarine volcanic structure. And I'm not sure if we have a view here, so we're going to back out. Click our little guy and see if anything comes up, and nothing came up. So we're going to move on to New Senator Caldera. New Senator Caldera is a large Archean caldera complex within the heart of the Blake River Mega Caldera Complex, Quebec, in Canada. It has a diameter of 15 to 30 kilometers and is made of thick, massive mafic sequence. The caldera complex has inferred to be a subaqueous lava lake during the early stages of the caldera's development. The Glenwood Fault forms the eastern margin of New Senator Caldera. And our next one is Noranda Caldera. Noranda Caldera is a well-known large subaqueous Archean caldera complex within the Blake River Mega Caldera Complex, Quebec, in Canada. The caldera contains a 7 to 9 kilometer thick succession of bimodal mafic felsic theoletic to calc-alkaline volcanic rocks, which were erupted during 5 major series of the volcanic activity. And we can see how big it is. And our next one is Hunter Mine Caldera. Hunter Mine Caldera is a caldera complex in North volcanic zone of the Abitibi Greenstone Belt in Ontario and Quebec, Canada. It is located at the eastern end of Lake Abitibi. And we're going to see if we have any views of the lake over here. And we're going to back out a little bit, see if we can get a better view. Let's go down here. something along the water, maybe. I'm going to look right here. We'll go here. Actually, there seems to be a view from a house here, so maybe we'll go there. Ah, houses. Okay, don't see anything. I see houses. Okay, guys, this one's not a view. All right, and moving right along, we're going to Ontario. We're going to Sturgeon Lake Caldera. Sturgeon Lake Caldera is a large, extinct caldera complex in the Kenoi district of northwestern Ontario, Canada. It is one of the largest, it is one of the world's best preserved mineralized Neo-Archean caldera complexes containing well-preserved mafic intermediate pilolavas, pilobreccias, hyaloclastics, and paratites, submarine lava domes, and dome-associated breccia deposits. The complex is some 2.7 billion years old, with a minimum strike length of 19 miles. Which is huge. I don't know if there's a view over here, but we're going to back out and see if we have one. And the one we have is over here, so we'll just go over here and see what we can see this way. I see trees. Let's go down here and see what the sign says. Sign says highway maintenance. Okay, so that's no good. All right. Well, can't see anything from here but beautiful trees. Oops. We'll try right over here then. We'll go here. Apparently can't get a view on the other side. More trees. Okay, so moving on to Manitoba Islands. Manitoba Islands. The Manitoba Islands lie inside the Ottawa-Bannister Graben and are part of an eroded volcanic pipe, leaving the multiple islands. The volcanic pipe formed by the violent supersonic eruptions of a deep origin volcano. These volcanoes originate at least 3 times as deep as most other volcanoes, and the resulting magma that is pushed towards the surface is high in magnesium and volatile compounds, such as water and carbon dioxide. As the body of the magmas rise towards the surface, the volatile compounds transform to gaseous phase as pressure is reduced with decreasing depth. This sudden expansion propels the magma upward at rapid speeds, resulting in a shallow supersonic eruption. The 5 islands are Great Manitoba Island, Little Manitoba Island, Calder Island, Rankin Island, and Newman Island. I'm not sure there's a view in this area. We're going to check. We have one over here. We're going to go over here. I don't know what we can see from here, but we're going to go all the way over here. Aha! All right. That's pretty. The islands that we were looking at are out here. Isn't that gorgeous? Even though that's a split screen, but it's gorgeous. Okay, and moving on to our next one, Colander Bay. Back out a little bit. Colander Bay is an eroded Proterozoic volcanic pipe formed by the violent supersonic eruption of deep origin volcano. This is Colander Bay here. I don't know if we have any views over here. We do. So let's go down here. So we can find something on the water. We'll go over here. I think we're on the street. There's Colander Bay out here. Our next one is Blake River Mega Caldera Complex. Blake River Mega Caldera Complex is a giant subaqueous caldera cluster or a nested caldera system that spans across the Ontario-Quebec border in Canada. The caldera complex is around 2.7 billion years old, consisting of a series of overlapping calderas of various ages and sizes. It lies within the southern zone of the Abiti greenstone belt of the Superior Craton and has an area of 3,000 kilometers or 1,200 square miles. Wow, meaning it's huge. Our next one is Massima Caldera. Massima Caldera is a 2,704 to 2,707 million year old caldera in Ontario and Quebec, Canada. It is the caldera that formed the Blake River Mega Caldera Complex and has a diameter of 40 to 80 kilometers. The Massima Caldera is the oldest and largest caldera associated with the Blake River Mega Caldera Complex and is comparable in size to Lake Toba Caldera in Indonesia. The rim of the Massima Caldera contains a 10 to 15 kilometer wide inner and outer ring zone, in which many mafic ring dikes, complexes, and subaqueous pyroclastic sediments are detected. And we're going to look and see if we have a view here at all. We do over here, so we're going to go right here. And we look, we just get a view of road. Anyway. Our next one is Attawapiskat Kimberlite Field. And note, is a diamond mine. Attawapiskat Kimberlite Field is a field of kimberlite pipes located astride the Attawapiskat River in the Hudson Bay lowlands in northern Ontario, Canada. It is thought to have formed about 180 million years ago in the Jurassic period, when the Northern American plate moved westward over the center of the upwelling magma called the New England Hotspot, also referred to as the Great Meteor Hotspot. Since June 26, 2008, the De Beers open pit Victor Diamond Mine has been in operation, mining 2 pipes in the field. So you can see where the pipes are. And this is the Attawapiskat River here. And then you have the Nescutayawa River over here. Then you have another river here. This is the diamond mine here. 1. And then you can see another mine over there. And moving to our next one, Lake Timiskaming Kimberlite Field. Lake Temiskaming Kimberlite Field is Canada's southernmost kimberlite field located in northeastern Ontario and Quebec. It is located within the Lake Temiskaming structural zone, which contains over 50 kimberlite pipes, several of which are diamondiferous. Lake Temiskaming Kimberlite Field formed about 147 million years ago, with the North American plate moved westward over the long-lived New England hotspot, also referred to as the Great Meteor Hotspot. Moving on to our next one, Dead Horse Creek Diatryma Complex. Dead Horse Creek Diatryma Complex is a diatryma complex in northwestern Ontario, Canada, located approximately 16 miles west of Marathon. It is thought to have formed by the Mid-Continent Rift System, a 2,000-kilometer or 1,243-mile long rift in the center of the North American continent that was active in the Mesoproterozoic. And I put it here, but I'm thinking it's in this area here. This is where the pen gave me the place. Anyway, the next one is Kirkland Lake Kimberlite Field. Kirkland Lake Kimberlite Field is a 165 to 152 million year old kimberlite field in the Kirkland Lake area of northeastern Ontario, Canada. And now we move on to Nunavut. And Nunavut has two, and this one is Elden Bay Diatryma. Elden Bay Diatryma, also called the Elden Bay Kimberlite, is a small post-Silurian diatreme located approximately 0.62 miles south of Elden Bay at the eastern margin of Somerset Island, Nunavut, Canada. It has a diameter of 656 feet. So we're looking right here, and this is the diatreme here. And I'm going to see if we have a view here. We do not have a view here. So we are moving on to our next one, which is Jericho Pipe. Jericho Pipe is a diamondiferous diatreme in the Slav Craton of Nunavut, Canada, located 249 miles northeast of Yellowknife near the northern end of Contimoyo Lake. It is home to the now closed Jericho Diamond Mine. So this was the Jericho Diamond Mine here. I don't know if there's any views in this area, so we're going to check. And we don't seem to have any, and we're moving on to Nova Scotia. And we're going to Erie Bank. Erie Bank, on the continental shelf off of the northeast coast of Nova Scotia, Canada. It represents the remains of the volcanic center that was constructed along the fracture zone during the Cretaceous period. And this is Sable Island here. I don't know if there's a view over there. There is. We're going to go see if we can find one. There we go, right there. We're going to go right here. Wow, isn't that gorgeous? Okay. Ocean. Sand dunes. Okay, guys. And moving on to Northwest Territories. We have Black River Volcanic Complex. We're going to back out here some because it's big. Black River Volcanic Complex is an Archean stratovolcano spanning the Northwest Territories Nunavut border in northern Canada. It is located 298 meters northwest of Yellowknife and to the northwest of the Black River, from which it takes the name. The volcano constitutes the Black group of the Yellowknife supergroup and is somewhat anomalous in the Slave Craton because it has undergone only a low degree of deformation and is subhorizontal. The southern half of the complex is exposed at the crest of the small dome. This is the eroded portion of the stratovolcano that has been preserved in an upright position. The complex comprises 4 volcanic sedimentary sequences entering Taiwako, Bauscher, Reagan, Kelch that correspond to the phases of growth and destruction of the stratovolcano. So it is within this area here. So let's do a tilt. And this is the area that I have mapped. And our next one we're going to is Newfoundland. We're going to start with Flowers River Caldera Complex. Flowers River Caldera Complex is a caldera complex located in eastern Labrador, Canada. The complex is made up of pyroclastic flow tufts. So this is this area here. Let me get a good look at this area. And our next one is Fogo Seamounts. These are Fogo Seamounts here. Fogo Seamounts, also called Fogo Seamount Chain, are a group of seamounts located about 311 miles offshore of Newfoundland and southwest of the Grand Banks of Newfoundland. They consist of basaltic submarine volcanoes that formed during the early Cretaceous period. And our next one is Newfoundland Seamounts, which is just right over here. Newfoundland seamounts are a group of seamounts offshore of eastern Canada in the northern Atlantic Ocean, named for the island of Newfoundland. These group of seamounts formed during the Cretaceous period and are poorly structured. And our next one is Springdale Caldera. And this is also Newfoundland. Springdale Caldera is a large early Silurian caldera in the west central Newfoundland, Canada. It is 37 miles long and 22 miles wide, with an area more than 770 square feet. Miles. It is one of the few calderas in Newfoundland that form a large Silurian age volcanic field and consist of basaltic, andesite, rhyolite, pyroclastic rocks, debris flows, breccias, and red sandstone. Maybe we have a view here. I'm not sure. So we're going to check a view for the island. I always like to get a view from the island here. Ocean. I don't know if we're going to get an ocean view. Well, we got a river view. Okay, so let's do an ocean view if we can get one. There's one. Maybe it's a bay over here. First we notice is rocks. But the ocean is gorgeous. And now we're moving to New Brunswick, Canada. Mount Pleasant Caldera is our first one. Mount Pleasant Caldera is a large eroded late Denovian volcanic caldera complex located in the northern Appalachian Mountains of the northwestern New Brunswick, Canada. It is pre-Cenozoic caldera. And our next one is Flat Landing Brook Formation. Flat Landing Brook Formation is a geological formation in Gloucester County of northern New Brunswick, Canada. It consists mostly of volcanic rocks that were deposited 466 to 465 million years ago during the Darwinian stage of the Middle Ordovician epoch. I don't know if we have any views here, so we'll look and see what we have in this area. I'm going to go over here. We have, looks like water over this way. Anyway, this whole area here, if you can look. And our last one for Canada and for this video series is Sugarloaf Mountain. We can see it here. Sugarloaf Mountain is a late Denovian age volcano. Okay, we're going to see if we can have a view in this area or not. And we seem to have a view right up on top. So we're going to go right here. Okay, guys, this completes our video series. Please like, subscribe, and check out our YouTube channel for the other videos. Thank you, and have a God bless day or night, wherever you are.